Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the End Zone Enthusiasts, our power rankings after week 4. Now, guys, if you just saw our picks from last week, we're doing really good. We're at 45 and 18 with our picks. But this year has been crazy here. But before I get started, I'm wearing my Eagles hat, guys. They're still number one, guys. I'm sorry. Tampa Bay had a chance to take them for my favorite team battle there. But you know what? I still bleed green, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. But why are we the end zone enthusiasts? Well, we are coaster enthusiasts who actually love the NFL. So figured end zone enthusiasts, right? And we always wear a shirt here. So this shirt is being worn backwards, all right? It is October now. And you know what that means? It's time for the holiday haunts. And this is the scariest thing in the world, El Fondo at Dorney Park. This is a nightmaric clown that they have, which somebody thought would be an amazing mascot in the 60s and 70s. They brought El Fondo back. They brought the horror, and we're going to bring you our power rankings. So if you're new to power rankings, this is our top 10 teams after week 4 with 2 honorable mentions. And we're going to kick it off right off the bat here with our honorable mentions. And the first one is the Green Bay Packers. Now, I know a lot of people have knocked the Green Bay Packers off their power rankings. Tom Grossi, who is the biggest Pack fan there is, actually has them off their list. But I haven't done it yet, even though they're right on the board. Notice they are like number 12. They're about to get knocked out. So if you haven't noticed, the first 2 games of the year, the Green Bay Packers look dominant. They look like the New Orleans Saints of last year. Because New Orleans Saints, they were 2-0 and they were running over everybody. But then they lost to Cleveland, all right? Which, okay, people have a bad game, could be a trap game. Cleveland's got an amazing defense. But then they go into Dallas and they tie. They don't even have the respect to lose to Dallas. Now, if they lost to Dallas, I think I would have probably dropped them out of the top there and moved in another team. But because they tied and they had to come back and tie it, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're on a bye week in week 5, so they have a chance to right this ship. But the reality is, guys, what happened? I had you all the way up to number 3 in week 2. You had you down to number 7 or 8 last week. Now you're barely hanging on. But the Green Bay Packers are still an honorable mention. The other honorable mention is the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they lost. They're 3-1. They are a 3-1 team, so you got to give them some respect. They won 3 games, lost 1. However, every time they play, they lose 1 or 2 key players. First week was Brock Purdy and George Kittle. Before the season even started, Brandon Ayuk was on the IR. Then they lost Nick Bosa, and now they lost Pearsall after this game. So they're losing people every week, and because of that, it's hard for me to put them in the top 10 because who are they going to lose next week? Their entire offensive line is Purdy going back on the IR. We don't know how this team is staying together. The only healthy guy is McCaffrey at this point, which I don't think those words should ever leave my mouth. Healthy guy, Christian McCaffrey, especially since I picked him number 1 on my fantasy team last year. So San Francisco, you're 3-1. That's why you're on the list. But you know what? You're an honorable mention. Now, before we get into our top 10, we're going to talk about who dropped out. And the first one to drop out has to be the Baltimore Ravens. The mighty have fallen. I mean, seriously, you're 1-3. You are tied with Cleveland at this point. Lamar Jackson now has a hamstring injury. There's mutinies from what I've been reading in the locker room going against Harbaugh here. This team is in shambles. Most people, Brandon Perna, had them as going to the Super Bowl this year, and now they are basically 2 games behind Pittsburgh for the NFC North. They're falling behind Buffalo, so if there's any chance of them trying to win a home game here, it's only a quarter into the season. I understand that. But Baltimore at this point, you got to right that ship or you're not going to see the power rankings top 10 the rest of the year. And the other team that dropped out is the Washington Commanders. Now, why did they drop out? Well, I don't know how long Daniels is going to be out. And also losing Scary Terry, that is a 1-2 punch that they could not defend themselves against with Atlanta. who got their butt handed to them the week before against Carolina. So at this point, I don't know where Washington stands. And as an Eagles fan, notice the hat, notice all the stuff I got. As an Eagles fan, I'm okay with that. With the Eagles being 4-0 and them being 2-2, the Giants and Dallas being Giants being 1-3, Dallas being 1-2-1. This tie is going to really mess things up. Eagles are blown away there. So if Washington has a couple more bad weeks and the Eagles keep finding ways to win, the division could be over very quickly. But because of the injury to Daniels and not knowing what's going on with Scary Terry, I had to take you out. So now we're getting to the top 10. Are you ready for the top 10? Number 10 is a newcomer. It is, hold on. Let's go up here quick. Boom. Oh, wait, let's go here. Our top 10. There we go. It's a newcomer to it, the Seattle Seahawks. So I've never been a big Seattle Seahawks fan because I'm not a big Pete Carroll fan. I don't like what he did in the college years and then came back after being sanctioned. Not a big fan. Was never a big Russell Wilson fan either. But the new lineup now, especially with Sam Darnold, I'm starting to like him. And you know what? The first game, Sam Darnold did not look well. And we all thought, okay, you know what? It was a Minnesota offense that made him look good. But you know what? The last 3 weeks, he's been playing solid football. The running attack with Walker Jr. has been solid. Now, getting rid of Metcalf, I'm still a little leery about that because you only have one legitimate wide receiver with Smith and Njoku. But all in all, they're winning the games. The defense has been solid. And you know what? They're tied for first place in this division with the Rams. Now, the Rams are probably head-to-head a better team. But Seattle, I tip my hat. Congratulations into the power rankings. Number 9 is also another new team, but I've never been a big fan of these guys either. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I've been enjoying Kennywood. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying Kennywood, but the worst part of that park is the steel curtain section where it's all Pittsburgh Steelers stuff, all right? But you got to give due what you got to give due. Now, 2 weeks ago, they played New England, and the only reason they won that game, everybody knows it, the only reason why they won that game was because New England had 5 turnovers, 4 fumbles, one of them right on the goal line. So you take 1 or 2 of those fumbles away, it's a totally different outcome. But they went to Ireland, and they put the beating down on Minnesota Vikings, who were also another team that's kind of the same thing there. Why they got into the top 10, number 9, is because they're the only team now I see standing in the AFC North. Cincinnati Bengals at this point are pretty much done without Burrow. Browning has looked pathetic, and I just don't think they got enough to get over the hump unless they bring in a veteran quarterback. And Baltimore, we talked about them. They're falling down. They get back up. They fall right back down. It's been brutal. So really, Pittsburgh, if they can keep playing the consistency that they have with a decent running attack, with Aaron Rodgers controlling the offense, he has some breakout things. He's still got that rocket arm, but really he just needs to manage everything and make sure that they keep moving forward. And the defense playing like they did in Minnesota, you know what? They're going to run away with the AFC North because, who's going to beat them? Cleveland? No. All in all here, Pittsburgh is 9th because they're the only one standing in that division. Now we got some people that are going to be moving around here. Number 8 is the LA Chargers. Now you're saying, wait a second, weren't the Chargers 3rd or 4th last week? And you would be 100% correct. However, I punish people when they lose a little bit. You'll see here some teams move down a little bit, Indianapolis and Tampa. There'd be 2 teams that kind of shuffled a little bit. But the Chargers fell 5 spots for one reason. You lost to the Giants. And yes, I know it was Dart's first game and the excitement of that. I understand that completely. However, for more than half the game, they didn't even have neighbors. So you had a rookie quarterback, you had a defense that's decent. I'll give them credit with the defensive line and stuff. But you had a team that had no business being in the game. And it wasn't a fluke. Like Cleveland had to kick a field goal the week before to beat Green Bay. At this point, I don't think the Chargers were ever in the lead. I think they were chasing the Giants the entire time. And at the end, the Giants had enough. So because you just did not play up, you played down to your competition, you dropped to 8th place. Now, don't get me wrong. I want you to take that division. I'm tired of the Chiefs. All right. I am tired of the Chiefs. And I know Grossi put the Chiefs back in the top 10. I'm not ready to do that yet. I don't even have him as an honorable mention. You've got to dig yourself out. I'm not going to put you above other teams because I think you might be better. No. At this point, you got to get the record here. But Chargers, don't charger it up, all right? Don't just wrap this up in a quick bow and go, okay, Kansas City, thank you for giving us 3 weeks of joy. No, you deserve this division. Play up to your competition, play above your competition, and win these games. Number 7 is, and this is surprising, but the reality is Jacksonville's 3-1. They're tied for first place in that division. They played some tough teams, and they've done well against tough teams. They lost, a tight one against, I believe it's the Rams. But then, they play up to where they got to play to. And the reality is the defense there in Duval is pretty darn good there. Now, I haven't seen anything from Trevor Lawrence to justify his paycheck. But the rest of the team is really playing up there. Etienne has been amazing. Trevor Etienne. Etienne has been amazing this year. He has revitalized his career, and he's looking amazing, all right? But I think at this point, Jacksonville, instead of losing those close games that they usually do, they're flipping them. They're winning them. And because they're doing that, you know what? You're number 7. Number 6 is a team that lost last week, but I think in the head-to-head, Jacksonville against Indianapolis, I'm kind of putting it on Daniel Jones here and Jonathan Taylor. And, I think they're just a better team at this point, head-to-head. And even though they lost to the Rams last week, it was a close game. It was not a blowout. The Rams had it most of the way, but there was always a chance they can come back. And the reality is, if that wide receiver didn't fumble the ball on the 1-yard line trying to show off and then do a stupid holding penalty after Taylor ran 52 yards, it might have been a different outcome. But Indianapolis, you are legit. You deserve to be in the top 10. You might even sneak into the top 5, depending on what happens in the next couple of weeks. So Indianapolis against Jacksonville, I'm always going to give it to Indianapolis, and that's why they are where they are. All right, it's time for the top 5, guys. And dropping down one spot, let me get a quick little drink here. Dropping down one spot is my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, that game was a battle of 2 halves. In that first half, wow, no idea what happened there. Everything the Buccaneers tried to do was wrong. However, like a good team does, they fought back. They shut down the Eagles, or the Eagles shut themselves down by playing prevent. I don't know. But they got back in that game. And if Baker would have just threw the ball away instead of trying to do one of his amazing plays, which, let's be honest, he did that twice during the game, so you don't mind him trying a third time. But that interception in the end zone kind of iced the game for the Eagles. But the way they were able to shut down the Eagles, the way they were able to come back, crawl back, that pass to the rookie wide receiver threading 2 Eagles and get it, that was amazing. So because of that, I'm not panicking on the Buccaneers. You're still in the top 5, but you know what? You got a tough schedule going up there, and rumor has it that Bucky might not be 100%. Number 4, the LA Rams. You know what? If it wasn't for 2 blocked field goals, these guys might be number 1. Seriously, number 1, number 2. But they got some bad breaks against the Eagles, but they bounced back, and they pretty much showed everybody that, they are a top team. That duo of Devontae Adams and Puka, that is deadly. And as long as Stafford has any amount of time, he's got a quick release, but he needs some time. As long as he has a little bit of time, that offense is going to be humming. Then you put on Verse on the defense and the way they can just wreck a game. The Rams are legit, and they're going to be very dangerous for the Eagles. They got to tie break the Eagles, but you know what? The Rams are somebody in the West. You got to keep an eye on the Rams. Number 3, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Not going to lie, you lost a lot of respect when you got your butt kicked by Green Bay. But you know what? That was the wake-up call that you needed, because let's be honest, you have now come out of nowhere and have now dominated the next 3 games. I mean, you're playing tough defenses with Cleveland, where Green Bay lost, and you shut the lights out on them. You put Flacco basically in retirement here. Detroit is back. They are scary. And yet again, notice in the top 5 so far, 3 NFC. I'm going to tell you, it's 4 NFC, 1 AFC. That is not a good ratio if you're trying to repeat as a Super Bowl champion here. So the Eagles are going to have a tough fight to get through that because the NFC is definitely very solid. And Detroit, you're back. Congratulations. Number 2 has not changed. It is those Buffalo Bills. Now, Buffalo, your defense has me a little worried. Josh Allen hasn't been as explosive as usual. However, James Cook, wow, you got Baker baking and Cook cooking, all right? The Cook has just been fantastic. Well-deserved pay raise. I know people are nervous. Should we give him this much money? He only showed it for 1 year. Well, now it's year 2. As long as he stays healthy, that 1-2 punch of Allen and Cook, the offense is going to be able to pretty much fight any team. However, I would like to see the defense to step up a little bit more and pretty much, I want to see some blowouts. You are the best team in the AFC. Start beating up on the bottom feeders. And number 1, I was humbled, guys. First time in my life, I literally was like, you know what? I'm kind of going for Tampa Bay. And believe me, my mom was watching the game with me, and she had a look of disgust on her face when I was cheering for Bucky. However, the Eagles, it's not pretty, guys, but you're getting the wins. Every one of these games was not a complete game. And a lot of the blame goes on the offensive coordinator. You got to say at this point, there's some plays, but very vanilla with the running attack. A.J. Brown is not getting the looks he deserves, but I'm going to say it right now. I'm not an A.J. Brown fan. I'm serious. I'm an Eagles fan, but there's a song, Shut This Something Up. And seriously, A.J. Brown, you're 4-0. It's a team sport, not an accolade. If you want individual things, play basketball. That's when you could be, I'm the man, I'm the GOAT, all that stuff. Football is a team sport. If you're not getting open, maybe that's on you. Because I know a lot of the Puka Nacua gets double covered every time. Still leading the league right now in yards. Devontae Adams on that team there. Justin Jefferson, Chase over in Cincinnati. If you want to be an elite and everybody's like, A.J. Brown's elite, A.J. Brown's elite, prove it to me. Well, I'm not getting the looks. I'm not getting this. I'm not. Make it. Make it happen. You know what? That play with Baker Mayfield to the rookie, that wasn't even on the tree. He was just supposed to drive the guy, open up the safeties for the underneath thing. Underneath wasn't there. He kept on going. He got open. I blame you, AJ. I'm sorry. I blame you. And when you start tweeting about being a little baby, I have no respect for you. All right? Last year, same thing. I'm going to sit here and read a book. Well, I'm glad you can read. Congratulations. College education came out there. But you know what? Look in the mirror and say, what can I be doing better? What can I be doing better? Don't go on Twitter and start drama. You're 4-0. Your team's 4-0 and you won a Super Bowl. If you want individual accolades, go. Devontae Smith, Dotson, that's a good combo. I'm sure we can get something for you. Go. Why don't you go to Cleveland? You know what? They need a wide receiver. Why don't you go to the Raiders? The Raiders are a great team. They'll take you. They love trash. Go to the Saints. You know what? No, I don't want you. I'm done with A.J. Brown. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm tired of the drama. We dealt with that with T.O. We dealt with it with T.O. Tyreek Hill. You guys are never going to be Hall of Famers if you're a whiner. The class acts are the ones that get it. Marvin Harrison never did that stuff. One of the top wide receivers ever. I don't hear any of the other guys. Justin Jefferson should be complaining because they got stuck with a rookie in Carson Wentz. No, he's still getting his yards. He's still getting his plays. And you can complain about the offensive coordinator, but you knew it going in. He was there last year. It's the same kind of plays. Look in yourself. Stop being a damn diva. Get off your butt. And you know what? Maybe work a little harder. Oh, I'm getting double teamed. No, I only go left. I only go right. You know what? When Jalen Hurts is in trouble, make it so it's obvious that you're open. Because Devontae Smith gets his, Goddard gets his, Dotson had a couple good games and catches. It's you. So yeah, Taylor Swift song. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. It's you, AJ. It's you. So stop your whining. I would love for them to trade you. I would love for you to be Tennessee will take you back. Why don't you go to Tennessee and catch balls from the rookie? Let's see how that works out for you. You're in a good position. You got a Super Bowl. You're undefeated in 4 weeks. Shut the up. All right. Now, with that being said, now that I pissed off every Eagles fan, I'm okay with that though because I don't like crybabies. But here we go. Here is our power rankings after week 4. So, honorable mentions, Green Bay Packers and San Francisco 49ers. You got to prove to me that you deserve to be there. If not, there's going to be 2 more people there, honorable mentions, and you're going to fade away. Number 10 is the Seattle Seahawks. You know what? You're in a tough division, but you're showing that you are a legit team at 3-1. Pittsburgh Steelers, it's your division to lose now. Baltimore has shown that they can't, they can still win, but it's going to have to be a dramatic turnaround. And Cincinnati, man, I'm sorry. You had a lot of hope, but without Burrow, you're not going anywhere. The LA Chargers took a big step backwards, and they're giving the Kansas City Chiefs a chance to get back in that division. So knock it off and get your ship righted and start winning these games. You can't be losing to the Giants if you're supposed to be the winner of the division. If you're going to end the reign of terror of the Kansas City Chiefs, you can't be doing what you're doing. Number 7, Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're winning. You're winning, and I'm loving it. In the Indianapolis Colts, you lost. You're still legit. Too legit to quit. Number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. Tampa Bay, yes, you had a chance to win that game. You showed a lot of spirit in that second half. Injuries are piling up. Man, I'm hoping Bucky doesn't miss any time, but not too much time. LA Rams, you know what? You scare me. I'm an Eagles fan. You scare me. But you know what I admire? The fact that your wide receivers can get open and not go on Twitter and cry. So there we are there. The number 3, Detroit Lions. Eagles, you better get yourself in gear because the Lions are firing on all cylinders. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Is there another team in the AFC that you can put on the same level as Buffalo? Kansas City, not there. Might get there, but not there currently. Baltimore, no. Pittsburgh, no. Indianapolis, maybe, but Buffalo, you are the shining star in the AFC. And Eagles, you're winning. That's why you're number 1. You got some turmoil there because AJ can't shut his mouth. But you know what? I'm sure you're going to get better. You have a tough matchup this time with Denver. Hopefully that defense doesn't do what they've done to others. So with that being said, tomorrow we are dropping our picks for week 5. There are bye weeks, guys. We are now getting into the bye weeks here. And then basically next week, we're going to do this all over again. So once again, guys, thank you for watching the End Zone Enthusiasts. We have 3 subscribers at the time that I'm doing this. Love to have you join us. Definitely leave me hate comments if you're an AJ Brown fan, because maybe you have a different take. Maybe he should go on Twitter every day and be a crybaby. That's not me to judge. I have my opinion. Love to know yours. And without further ado, fly, Eagles, fly. Baker's got to bake. And Bills, just keep doing what you're doing.